Is it recorded? Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's on record.
So, 206B2, you've got produce a table arrangement with candle to be costed up. And for this, you've got to, it's got to be complete within the 35 minutes.
Damn.
All right? We'll go back on the marking criteria later. So, with candles, so what does that suggest?
The table.
Table arrangement, yeah?
Centrepiece.
Would it be like you've just done, symmetrical, asymmetrical?
No, it'd be more like a posy going on the
Posy.
table, rectangle table.
Yeah.
Not a round table because it would be kind of out of proportion. But then again, it depends how you do it.
No. So it could be a posy arrangement. It could be on a posy pad, for instance, with your candles in the middle. But it would be usually an all-round design. Yeah. And you did at Christmas, didn't you? Your long low arrangements. Yeah, with your candles.
We done a
The
roof.
Christmas.
No, we did a roof.
I thought you did a long low arrangement at Christmas.
No, we done a roof.
No. We've done a wreath with the 5 candles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to do a long low arrangement because usually, but perhaps if it's a rectangular table,
It look
you do
nice.
it, again you do it in proportion. So that one of the easiest ways to do it on your black trays and with a whole block of foam. As before. Tape in, and what must I be careful of when I tape?
The centre.
Yeah, so you've got to remember where your candle's going to be.
Yeah, which is the centrepiece, so you can't.
So go and choose, in the cupboard outside, there's a selection of all different shapes, sizes of candles, because quite popular for, say, weddings are what sort of candles?
I would say long slim ones or
You got
tea
pillars.
candles.
Oh, sorry.
Tea candles.
Yeah, so yeah,
Small.
the tea candles that are behind, but we're going to actually have these in our arrangement. So do you know the church candles?
Yeah,
So they're like the
big-
pillar
The big,
ones, I
pillar.
think.
thick ones, yeah. So there's some of those which would be nice. So just remember where you're going to place your candle. So if it's a big fat one, make sure that you haven't got tape in the middle here.
Yeah.
Right? So it's best to use like the thinner tape, otherwise it takes too much surface area. If not, squeeze the middle in, which I've done there. All right? You know, to make sure it's nice and firm in there. So with your candles, I've just got like these ordinary ones here. What gauge wire do you think ought to use to make my
70?
yeah
Is it 70?
Quite a strong one.
Yeah, it has to be a strong one.
quite a thick one. You could even go up to 90. Right, this one's a 90. Yeah, so it's nice and firm. So you're making some
Felt it before.
90.
Beyond.
And if you do 3 of those, so I'm attaching it with some thick pop tape, again it's easier. Right. I'm going to put 3 candles in.
Can you choose how many candles?
Yeah, just choose.
You can choose as many candles as you like.
For Easter, is there any number of candles we have to use, or we can just use one?
You can do whatever you like, but what with candles, what's the important thing
The colour.
about them? The colour. And where do you see them back best, at night or in the day?
Night.
At night. So you've always got to think where they're going to be placed, and like for brides in the summer, really, when does it start getting dark?
quite late.
Yeah.
It's dusk.
9.
No,
So
quite.
if they're
Oh,
having
right, yeah.
if they're having their wedding in the afternoon,
There's no point having candles then,
Yeah.
because then it wouldn't sort of
can't really see
show.
them, can they?
No.
Yeah.
It wouldn't show at the decky
You're
on
right,
the
so
tables.
So that's something you
Right.
could advise, that they look beautiful, don't they? When the lights out,
yeah.
perhaps the disco is on.
But you have to contrast between the day and the night,
Yeah.
because when it does start getting dark, the latest it's ever got dark is near 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So if they've only got the venue until 11,
yeah, so
it's-
advise them.
yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
But even when they're not lit, they are quite beautiful. And as you say, perhaps you can use yellow candles for Easter, or your whites and your yellows. And if we remember when we said about rhythm, can you see how I've placed them? I haven't gone 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Don't you think that looks more interesting?
Yeah.
Yes.
And just how I've positioned
The
them,
different heights.
different heights.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got a bit of rhythm there. Dum dum dum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just think on that.
Apologies.
So quite often you would ask about the size of the table, and that might be on your order. But with all arrangements, your foliage to touch the bottom, and quite important, the shape. All right. So if it was for a top table, how would you put your foliage in? So with a top table arrangement, it's usually sort of on the edge of the table.
Yeah.
So it'd be in front. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, like, with the, I don't know, you want it to come out, don't you?
Yeah,
It's like
so
symmetrical, like,
You want it nice and come out to usually in front of the bride and groom.
Yeah.
Yes. What else is quite a characteristic of a top table arrangement?
It's like a centrepiece, really, as well.
Yes.
Is it quite low? Low.
Yeah,
Low.
it's
so
low
you can
down
see.
because so that the bride and groom can be seen. And what about on the edge? What happens here?
oh, it comes down.
It comes longer so that
Yeah.
it decorates the table, so you
Yeah,
don't have to.
Exactly. So it usually comes over.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got to establish, but you know, it might be that with small weddings, it might be just like a big table, so it would be in the middle. So you've got to establish
How it's
wh-
going to sit on the table.
yeah, where it's going to sit. So it's going to be like a long, we call them like a long low arrangement.
Oh, is that includes the door?
Close the door for what?
It's got a draft on it.
Draft. Okay.
Right. So what's this foliage called?
Foliage. Oh,
Eucalyptus.
eucalyptus.
And which one is it?
The small one, the
Yeah.
parvifolia. That's it. Thank you, girls.
And it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's lovely.
It is. I've actually
is?
found it quite
Yes.
sort of, yeah.
So, quite important that you get a good shape. You know, and on here it's got good outline and shape and profile. Yeah, so that's one of your criterias. So it's got to come up and down for your profile, both each side.
So in the assessment,
Mm-hmm.
how we make it as though it's for a bride's top table?
You've got to see what's on your order.
Yeah. You get the order form,
Yeah.
then.
Okay. So if it is for a top table, you'd make sure the front of it came down.
I would think it's got to produce a table arrangement.
So it
I
might
think
be-
we just do it as a
Yeah.
Basic
as a,
table. Middle.
yeah,
piece.
middle of a table. Yeah,
It gives you an idea what you can do with it. Though.
yeah. All right, but so the eucalyptus also smells lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so you're making sure that you take your foliage from the bottom. Yes, so that is clean when you go into your foam. So you're getting it's like a diamond shape at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
Have any of you tried using your knives yet? Are you going to
No.
I've been trying.
I'm going to try today.
I've got a
Yeah,
massive
you
cut
get
on
the
my
pastas
phone.
ready,
No, I'm
yeah.
joking.
Carol, yeah, you better. I hope you've got coloured ones. Why have you got 2 candles more one side and one the other?
It creates
Creates rhythm.
Mhm.
How does that create
it's
rhythm?
boom, 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 boom.
So I've balanced it, but I haven't just done them all the same. All right, so it's just a little bit of a design element in it.
Right, okay. Because I would have put one in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
but try different ways and see which way.
Yeah?
But you would.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you, in case anybody was
In case
thinking.
On my phone.
Hmm?
Back of you.
And then
Oh, Andrew phoned me.
and then we've got what's the bushy foliages?
It's
Yeah, so this is the Pittosporum. So lovely because it's the variegated one, and that'll give you. We can
Almost looks like Christmas there, though.
we can place this
Yeah.
down, and it covers a lot more than if you were using like a lot of the eucalyptus. Yeah, I mean do bring some of that through, but it's bushier. And I've also got here. What's
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ming
no.
fern.
Ming
I
fern?
I hate that.
When it dries,
It
it
is
goes
horrible.
It
everywhere.
does.
It is.
So we've found that because it is a fern and it does drop, it's quite good to actually just put it in the middle. Otherwise, you pick it up and you leave a trail of.
Yeah.
Fern. Yeah.
But it's great for, as I say, your different textures in there. And then, have you got any? I mean, just some other different foliages. I think we
Textures.
had this last week, didn't we? What's
Yeah.
this one called?
russet.
Yes.
So this is the hard ruscus. So again, remember our transition, our visual balance, and placing this towards the centre. Right. So why I actually like when I'm working to actually look down on the design. So keep perhaps putting it on the table. Make
I
sure
tend
that
to-
it's.
I tend to put it on the floor.
Put it on the floor,
Yeah.
especially if it's a funeral tribute, because that's where it will be seen. won't it?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
From above.
from above. Yeah. You've also got perhaps some Gaelic leaves that again might be nice in there.
Because I noticed you have, because there's no leather leaf, so you're
Yeah, they've got leather leaf.
mixturing the
Do you like leather
foliages.
leaf then?
I do actually.
Mm-hmm.
I do like it, but when I'm seeing you do that, it's another way of sort of practicing without just relying on leather leaf
Yeah.
all the time.
Leather leaf is good for making an edge, isn't it? But
Yeah.
not very good for the middle.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the size. I think it does make.
Only just because it's a
But I
bit
think with a
flat.
bit, I think with a mixture anyway. So.
So Jessica, are you learning how to use a knife?
Not really. Because I don't want it to push against my thumb when I do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
So you've got to think that if you use a knife, when you peel potatoes, you use it like that.
Oh no, I've got
I
a
do it with
brilliant.
speed peeler.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
No, but I'm left-handed, so I do it that way. So I might be just as good.
You might be alright with a knife, so.
Yeah,
I'll
because
tell,
I peel
tell
it
you
like that.
something that is good when you're using a knife and being a florist. If you use scissors, then you get that lump on your finger,
Yeah.
yeah, where you're
Okay.
using it a lot. So with a knife, you don't get that. But we
It's like getting a
we
bunion
still
on
get
your hands.
arthritis when we're older. We still get the knobbly.
What's like
joints.
I was
Oh,
like,
Carol, this
yeah.
is so joyful. What to look forward to.
Listen, I'm only not that far beyond Carol, yeah? All right? Not being funny, Carol.
Afraid it's because we put our hands in the water all the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
All right. So you get if you've got the idea there, right?
Yeah.
So really important to get a good outline as you did with your symmetrical and your asymmetrical. Get your outline with your foliage. So if we remember next, with your design demonstrated good application of elements and principles of design. So remember with our rhythm, our lines and our groups, yeah? So make sure that you get that. It probably says about grooming. Have you groomed your material? Yeah?
They probably need for grooming anyway.
So one of the easiest things to do to make sure you get your design elements is do like a line sort of coming through the design.
Yeah.
Yeah? We're doing our table arrangements.
Brilliant, lovely.
Sorry.
And we're filming. Oh, we're filming? Yeah, we're filming. Sorry. I must see you. You just stood there, Mariah.
Right, so remember, everything's got to go in towards these candles, right? This is going to be the dominant area. So I'm tidying them. And you've got to remember, it's a table arrangement, and if you've got your guests each side's got to be interesting. So, keep turning round and making sure that they're both equal. Yeah? I've got some large roses
And
here.
they're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
These are like the avalanche. So perhaps put those, we balance one here, one there.
Yeah.
But I don't want them, remember what we said about white,
It creates a hole.
could create a hole, yeah? But I have got my white candles, so we all should link together. Right, so just by doing that, that'll tick the boxes of your lines and groups. I've got my proportion, yeah, I've got my shape. So now it's just filling in. So the chrysanth, which is called
Santini.
Santini, yeah. Right, got lovely long braids.
And the common name, White Stallion.
Good. Right. So make
She
use
said they're
of
Weetabix.
the braids to get your shape. And we've got your small going into your large. So, 35 minutes you've got, which is
Not
ample,
long.
really.
It's not long.
Yeah, that doesn't sound long.
It's not long. Give us 40 minutes, I'll be all right. This is like doing a posy, isn't it, really, to a degree, because we had the same time for the posy.
Yeah.
We haven't done one though, have we? On assignment. We haven't
Right,
done
so can you see, to make good use of that chrysanth,
Yeah.
I've took the middle bit off, so that would be for my recession, and this would be for my outside, because I didn't want a big clump like that.
Right,
Yeah?
okay.
So there for my middle, and then I can come out, use those
Transition.
for my
Transition,
smaller on the
yeah.
outside, coming into my large. And then if I just had like the yellow in the middle, it would really sort of show. So let's have some like lemon, and I've got again the spray cars there.
That's looking wicked.
All right, to come out, to come in for my recession, and then we've got some of the green chrysanth as well. All right, I'll finish this off in a minute because the tape it finishes if we don't go too long on there. So if you stop that, and then I'll finish it and tell you.
Don't you look at the...